And I want to be clear that shaving with a Jeremy's razor won't actually make you look more like me.
Yes, you're giving me fierce. You're giving me power.
Could make you look more like this guy, though. And that's the most homoerotic moment you'll ever get from a Jeremy's razor commercial. Conservatives are being canceled by Hollywood, the media, universities, and now Harry's razors. Stop giving your money to woke corporations who don't think you deserve their product. Give it to me instead.
That's correct. The Daily Wire there, of course, Ben Shapiro's media company, he's part of that as well. They're now selling their own razors because they have a little riff with Harry's razors, which you may have heard of. They're a little bit too woke, a little bit too lib for them.
We've already gone over in segments on this very show how you can grift your way to the top off of conservatives' feelings, thinking that they are the victim. If you don't want to be woke and you don't want to be a liberal, buy my razor. There's no way to show that you are a conservative more than buying a snake oil salesman's razors.
Government is what takes all of your money and gives you very little in return.
That is not true.
Okay, that's I mean, it's kind of true. It depends on the kind of government. Yeah, that is what taxes are for, but taxes are theft, children. They're supposed to spend it on things like the police. They're not supposed to spend it on just random projects or silly things that they have in their head, and they tend to spend it on kind of silly things very often. But as you get older, you will realize how little you like taxes.
Yeah, he's way off base about it.
He's way off base about that. That was uploaded by Daily Wire, which Ben Shapiro works for. It's weird. That's one of those things that you should have left on the cutting room floor. It'd be like, yeah, we wasted an entire day shooting this. It didn't work out. Hey, Ben, let's do something else.
Senator Joe Manchin from West Virginia is my current favorite Democrat. He's preventing Joe Biden from doing a lot of bad things. So guys, you just learned more than you will in all of college about how the government works.
First of all, I would like to talk to the parents of those kids. They had to sign releases for their kids to be exposed to Ben Shapiro. Like, what are you thinking? Like, it almost says that it makes me wonder either they paid a hefty amount for those kids to be there, or they're also right-wing parents. But either way, it just bothers me considerably that people would allow this of their own volition.
The three-fifths compromise is one of the better kind of concepts that the founders came up with to long-term end slavery in America. They didn't say a black person is 3/5 of a human. They said, you know, it doesn't make sense, slave owners in the South, that you're going to count your unrepresented, unable to vote, and unable to function in everyday life slave population in your census for the purpose of representation in the Congress. Maybe you can't count them. And so the compromise was they don't get to count all the way so that you don't get to use
an enslaved population
to gain votes.
It makes absolutely no difference, has no bearing. Sounds like someone needs some lessons in CRT that they don't know what they're talking about. Anyway, the point here is talking about how ingenious that 3/5 compromise was, and what many people could say is, these were human beings, and since we've detached ourselves like these guys in this conversation did, so much from the fact that these were human beings, enslaved people, that if you say that was a great compromise to call humans 3/5 of a human being, because the people who enslaved them and want to continue to do so want to count them strictly for the purposes of more political power, which you gave them.
I mean, these people are engaged with saying, oh yeah, maybe slavery was bad and maybe it was terrible that people were enslaved, but hey, we gave them 3/5 representation to their owners. I mean, that's a stupid thing to say. That would be like saying, oh well, Hitler wasn't all bad because after all, German engineering. Who says that kind of thing? Idiots say that kind of thing. And people who don't want to be taken seriously. And I guarantee the people who are most upset about this, other than of course anybody who cares about the true history in America of racism, academics can't stand it when bozos like this pretend to know something about academic history and about the study of this sort of thing. And it's so irritating and it's so annoying